Okay, we're back into RStudio, and now we're going to talk about creating charts for group distributions. And the reason we do that is because we want to look at sort of the relationship between different variables, and we're going to do this today by two methodologies, and one of them is Boxplots and the other one is bar charts. And this is a common technique when you want to review group memberships or things that are sort of grouped together, and how they sort of look as they relate to quantitative outcomes. And so what we're going to do is use a publicly available Google's file called Google_correlate. And this file sort of is a standard deviation of the interests by state relative to the national average. So we're looking at the standard deviations between how it relates on the state level based on the national average. So let's run this and see what's going on. So you can see we created a data frame called Google. Let's look at the variable names. You can see on the bottom here we have the actual state, the state code, the interest in data visualization, their interest in Facebook, whether they have an MBA team or what state has an MBA team, whether they have a college degree, and whether the K through 12 educational institutions in that state have a statistics program, as well as what region they reside in. So let's look at the overall structure real quickly. And there we go. We have all the information from the data set. Notice there's 51 observations. There's not 51 states, obviously, but they're talking about the 50 states plus the District of Columbia. That's where we get the 51. Okay. So now what we want to do is we want to determine or answer the question, does the interest in data visualization vary by region? And well, heuristically, we could probably say it does, but scientifically, let's just show that it does. And the way we do that is we split the data by region and by creating a new data frame. And you can see in the command split, we use the variable data_viz by region. And so we're splitting the data visualization piece by each region. We're creating a data frame called viz.reg.dist. Okay, and you can see up here on the top it had done so. It listed 4 because there's 4 regions. Let's look at method 1, drawing box plots by regions. Notice I created a box plot in the command boxplot with all the parameters, and I made the color lavender. So let's run that. And there we have it. So we have 4 regions. And notice that, as you know from statistics, the box is actually the middle 15% between the first and third quartiles. And notice that there's a wide array of interest out west, as dictated by the width of the box. And notice also in the northeast we have outliers associated with the data, as well as the south. We have some outliers associated with it. And so there we have it. So let's look at method 2, and that is to draw a bar plot. And what we're going to do is we're going to set this up based on the means. So we create a command called sapply, or a function sapply. Interestingly, there's a whole bunch of similar commands in R, just like there are in other languages. There's a whole sort of ways to do things. There's an apply, there's an L apply, there's a S apply, there's a T apply, there's a whole bunch of them. And I believe I put, just Google it and you can figure it out, but I put a link out on the external site. The guy did a pretty good job in a couple of minutes describing the differences between those different functions in R. But anyway, I used sapply because it returns a vector and establishes the mean, because I said right there in the second parameter in the command that I want to set it by the mean. So let's run that. So there we have it. We have it in the data frame. Now let's run it together. Look at bar plot. Now look at it. Says I said run next to together. Actually, it should say 3 or sequentially, because I mean I could string this out all along one line, but I decided for visual purposes for this video so we can look at it on the screen without sort of bringing the bar over. So we can see that we're running a bar plot under the data frame that we just created column is beige, and we put a header in there as indicated. So let's run that guy, and there we have it. But notice that yes, we have the information, but we don't have a sort of a horizontal line. Excuse me. So let's make the horizontal line. It says vertical there. It should say horizontal line to the graph. And so let's just run that real quickly. And you can see that it put the horizontal line. Also, notice that we have negative means here, positive means here. We can see this relative to each region to the state. Well, let's install our go-to package for the do a couple other things. Run the psych package. Install the psych package. Let's put it in the library, and you recall from prior lessons that if you go to the packages, you go down here in psych and you see that it's checked. So let's look at this data visualization for the 4 regions. Let's look at the basic statistics on the screen using the grouping variable. So you can see here we have it's grouped by region: Midwest, Northeast, South, and West. And also look at here the mean. Look at negative 0.322. Notice that it's negative 0.32. Notice also here the Northeast has a mean of 0.45. So you can see that not only can we do the data visualization piece, but we can also do the descriptive statistics using this describe by function that describes the variable in question by region categorically. So not only can we look at it visually, but we can also look at it tabularly. Okay, enjoy.